Hello, friends. Hello, and welcome to the January 21st rendition of the Essential Oil Vet Ask the EO Vet. For those of you that don't know me, I am Dr. Janet Roark. I am a veterinarian in Central Texas, just south of Austin, and I am the Essential Oil Vet. I'm your Essential Oil Vet, and so I come live every Sunday at 7 p.m. Central to answer just a few of your questions. I didn't get to do a post earlier to see if you had any questions tonight, so I'm hoping some of you will come on live with me here and ask your questions in the chat. So if you are joining live, one, let me know that you can see and hear me okay. My connectivity has not been that great lately. And two, if you have any questions, post them as a comment during this live, and I will answer as many as I can in the short amount of time I have here. While you guys are doing that, I want to invite you to a little bit. I just want to give you a little bit of information about the nutrition webinar that's coming up on January 31st. So there is a lot of controversy around food going on right now. I'm not here to talk about that in detail. I already did that earlier this week. You guys begged me to talk about it. I did. There is a post both on Instagram and on Facebook of me going over kind of the new information about that, the newest information that we have. And honestly, that hasn't changed since I believe I did that on Wednesday. So I don't have any new information for you on that, except we're still getting cases, more and more cases. So the number that I said on Wednesday, it's significantly increased, and animals are getting very sick, vomiting, diarrhea, lethargy, due to a new bag of food being opened, typically usually within a week or two of that bag being open. And in some cases, it's all the animals in the house that are getting fed that. And in some cases, it's only the one that's a little bit sensitive, that maybe has a more sensitive stomach or a little bit immunocompromised. So if you have an animal that has those symptoms, please go to the vet immediately. Stop feeding the food that you're feeding. Feed something different instead. And on January 31st, I'm not going to be talking too much about the thing that's going on, the news, but I am going to give you guys some tools to, whether you want to make your own food or you want to just do toppers on what you're already feeding. I'm going to give you a list of foods that are good, and not just, usually I don't do that. Okay. Just so you guys know, I usually stay away from that. I'm usually like, well, feeding raw or feeding homemade cooked is the best, period, and leave it at that. But that's not always an option for everybody, and I get that. And so I've done a ton of research over the past week, and I'm going to continue to do more over this week. And I'm compiling a list of safe and good ingredient foods, regardless of your financial budget, whether you're on a super tight budget right now, which some of us are, myself included, and or you maybe have a little bit more to spend on your animals, and really do want the bee's knees the best, or maybe you don't have as much to spend but you want to do homemade cooked, because that can be very, very cost effective. It's more time consuming, 100%. So we're going to go into all of that, and we're going to talk about hot, cold foods, cold foods from a TCVM perspective, traditional Chinese veterinary medicine perspective. We're going to talk about the components of nutrition and what is good and what they need and why, and different species. Every species we're going to cover. I'm not going to get into poultry a ton. I did a whole separate nutrition presentation on poultry that you guys can have access to if you join the membership, but that is something that we're going to be covering. And that is going to be on January 31st, which is a Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central. It is recorded and posted in the group. So if you can't attend live, you will still be able to attend and watch it. And if you have questions, we do a live Q&A, and I answer everybody's questions. We did a full hour today, right before this, in the membership group every Sunday. Every Sunday at 6 p.m. I do a live in there for members, and that is I'm allowed to be a little bit more I'm a little bit more open about what I say in there because it is a private space that's very safe, and it is not like a public website like this one. And so I can be a little bit more candid and specific about certain things where as I can't hear, even with your guys' questions, I might not be able to really fully answer them because of my limitations, because this is a public forum. Okay. So I just want you guys to be aware of that and kind of the reasoning behind it. It's not because I'm trying to like steal your money or get you to buy a bunch of stuff. Like that is 100% not why I do this. I do this because there is a problem. I have the solution, and there's only certain places where we can share that information, and so that are safe. And so I created a membership portal. So even if like Facebook gets shut down and or I get canceled on social media completely, we'll still have a place where we can meet and be able to do those things. So I wanted to invite you to there. It is the very, very low cost. You get a month's worth of access to me for $27 basically. And that is, I mean, that's less than a physical exam at any vet clinic. So just saying, I'm not going to be doing a physical exams virtually on your animals or anything like that. It's not like that, but it is a chance for you to be able to ask your questions, which sometimes your vets might not have time to do, or they would require you to come in and pay a significant fee to be able to answer your questions. So we created this resource for you. And of course, if you can't do that, I get it, that we still have this page that is open and free for everyone. And I'm happy to answer your questions tonight that you have posted. I do have a boo-boo on my pinky, Shannon. She's like, you have a boo-boo. I broke my pinky, guys. I broke it about a little over a month ago, actually almost exactly a month ago, riding horses. This guy right there, I can't do this on the mirror, but riding Mackie, he went left and I went right and broke my pinky doing that. So I thought I just jammed it and didn't go see a doctor for 2 weeks and was just using oils on it. It was recovering really well, actually, but it just was a little bit off still, so I didn't feel right. So I wanted to get a radiograph. And so I went in to get radiographs, and sure enough, it was broken. So we have a really good splint on it. I went and actually saw a hand orthopedic surgeon that treats musicians, and so like because I use my hands a lot in what I do, and so I wasn't sure if it needed surgery, so I went and saw him, and he's like, nah, we're just gonna splint it. You got another month of a splint, unfortunately. So but it doesn't hurt too bad right now, but we're just trying to keep it stable until it heals completely, because I do need it to heal completely so I can do my job a little better. Okay, let's see. Okay, Cass says my beloved beagle is not feeling good. Elevated liver enzymes, not eating. What can we do to calm her liver down and stimulate her appetite? Would organ meat be safe to whet her appetite? You can try anything, but if that is, I would definitely take a look at what you're feeding and stop feeding any kind of kibble. And what I would do is do a homemade cooked diet for now. And yes, you can add liver to it. Absolutely. I love liver to support the liver for dogs and cats. And then, doing like a whole meat, diet. I would probably, if you wanted to add in some other vegetables and things like that, things like kale and spinach are great for dogs, and you can mix it all together, blend it all together, and do it that way. So there's lots of different options on this. We're going to get into it in a great big detail on the 31st. But in the meantime, try a little bit of, a little bit of protein, a little bit of organ meat. See if she'll eat that. Gently cooked. I don't actually do raw for IBD dogs. I actually like cooking it instead, because it is their tummies are just a little sensitive. So more bland foods are actually really good. Maybe a little bit of tripe. Green tripe would also be excellent to support the microbiome, a healthy microbiome in the gut. Okay. So that would be another great option for you as well. And I hope you come on the 31st to the nutrition webinar. Let's see. Okay. Jay says we're fostering a boxer Pitt, and she gets major large nodules on her skin that become sores, and scab, and small patch of hair falls off. We tried new food, dry fish base, allergy type treats, medicated shampoo from the vet that works well, and CBD hemp oil. I saw your new vet suggestion, but is there anything else that we can use, like oils? So feeding a whole food diet is going to be the best thing that you can do as opposed to like a dry food. But or like a limited ingredient for sure. And then, yes, you can absolutely use some oils. Like I really like to use, I mean, for any kind of skin, the Kids Calmer blend is a great place to start. So if you have that, you can actually just roll that right on those. Frankincense, Copaiba, you can't go wrong with those either. Let's see. Diana says, looking forward to next week. I have 2 senior dogs, so looking for all the options for senior years. So Diana, we actually have, I think just a couple months ago, we did a webinar in the membership on aging animals specifically. And so you'll definitely want to catch that webinar. It's already posted and recorded and posted in there. So you can definitely watch that if you're in there. It talks about like different ways to supplement and things like that. So mainly you should do a glucosamine chondroitin supplement, a multivitamin, digestive support whether in the form of any probiotic and digestive enzyme. So those 4 things. And then omegas are really helpful for cognitive function. Different oils that you can use, and you can include these internally, are frankincense, copaiba, turmeric, and DDR prime. So those ones I really like to do, especially for senior dogs. Topically, to support the joints and things like that, aroma touch diluted can be really, really helpful. Tracy says, do you have a probiotic you recommend for dogs? There's quite a few out there that are quite good. You can do the simplest, easiest thing, plain Greek yogurt or plain kefir. No sugar, no flavoring, not vanilla, plain. Okay. That's an easy thing. You can do fermented foods, add some of those into the diet. That's the easiest way to do probiotics for dogs. If you want to add in an additional probiotic, the PB Restore for dogs that are over 40 pounds, you can do that. It has to be given as a pill though. For like pet ones that are out there, there is a like Dr. Mercola has one called Bark and Whiskers or something like that. And then I believe Dr. Judy Morgan has one. And then there is one, Adored Beast has like Happy Bugs or something like that. That is like their multi. It has several different strains. I actually like the Adored Beast one a lot. Dr. Mercola's is really good, and that one are pretty good. And I do not have affiliate links for any of those. So this is just, there you go, information. Kelly says, what oils do you recommend around cats? Not sure what I can use that won't bother him. So you can use the brand really matters. Brand really matters. But as far as what oils to use, as long as you're using a good brand, then, and I recommend doTERRA, of course, but there's other good ones out there. But as long as you're using that, just stay away from tea tree, wintergreen, and birch. Everything else is pretty good. When you're diffusing, make sure that you only use 3 to 4 drops in your diffuser, and there is a room door open so your cat can leave if they want to. Most of the time they'll sleep right by the diffuser, but other than that, you can pretty much diffuse anything. Just don't do like 20 drops in your diffusers or some of these crazy recipes that I see out there. So yeah. Cass says, is raw chicken okay and beef? For the IBD dog, I wouldn't do raw. I would just definitely cook it. I would definitely do cooked chicken for the IBD. And beef would be fine too. Just make sure it's a lean beef. And then just small amounts more frequently for IBD. Let's see. Lori says my multi-poo licks her paws really bad. What can I do? So you can actually do wipe off the paws, because a lot of times that licking causes secondary infections that are usually skin, but sometimes they can actually get deeper than that. But I really like to do, you can do the paw wax. You can actually search this page for paw wax. Really good this time of year in the winter if you're in the northern hemisphere. It's really good to protect the paws and also soothe the paws. So the paw wax is really good. You can do diluted lavender. You can use the Kids Calmer. But what I really like to do is make sure that we keep those paws nice and clean from any kind of bacteria, virus, or pollen or anything else. And so you can actually do paw soaks, especially if they're really raw and red. And what I like to do for that is like a gallon of warm water, and this is approximate, a couple of tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, and you can throw some Epsom salt in there, and a couple of drops of lavender and frankincense. Mix it all up really well, and then hold the paws in there. This is good to do when your dog is calm, sleepy. You're sitting on the couch watching TV, watching your Netflix binge or whatever you're doing. So and doing this at night, and then wiping them off really well. So cleaning them with a microfiber cloth, if the paw soaks aren't an option, is another really good way to keep those clean and dry. And just making sure that they don't have any like mats in between the toes or anything like that with the multi-poo. Sometimes they get mats in between their paws, in between their toes, and it hurts really bad. And so those need to be clipped by your groomer or by yourself if you're comfortable doing that, and your dog is good about it. Let's see. Jay says, for Copaiba and Frankincense, would a carrier oil on the body or add drops to the food, and how many? So 1 to 2 drops mixed with food is where I would start, and kind of from a systemic standpoint, I would probably also do for that dog, Jay, a drop or 2 of like the protective blend or On Guard. So that's great. Yeah, perfect, Kelly. Yeah, you're much safer using that brand. Okay. B says, I'm using lavender, copaiba, helichrysum, and balance. She had 2 toes amputated a few years ago. No, she's had a few more spasms increasing from time to time, jumping around. Not sure what I can use. The blend seems to have helped her the last couple of days since I started using it. We noticed she's started rejecting her granular wood kitty litter, so we swapped it out with a finer grained. She seemed to. I'm not sure what your question is, B. You can't type too much on these, otherwise it won't show up during the live. Just trying to find a food she'll eat. Okay. Yeah, definitely come to the group. Actually, if you're in the group already, B, you can actually search for it. So she's got a kidney kitty, basically a kitty that needs some kidney support. There's some great recipes in there already. If you actually just do a search for that in the Facebook group or in the portal, either one is a great option. So all right. Victoria says, what can be done for tooth plaque for senior cats? So we actually have a really good free resource for you guys for teeth. And this applies to cats and dogs. Let me see if I can find that link. There we go. essentialoilvet.com/teeth. This is a free guide. You just have to enter your email so we can send it to you. It's a free PDF download, and you can grab that for dogs or cats. Great toothpaste recipe in there. You can definitely train either dogs or cats to learn how to brush their teeth. It is go very, very slow. There's YouTube videos on how to do this. If you've ever done my 7-day Happy Healthy Cat Challenge, we actually show you how to do this. And there's some in the bonuses, we have a whole bonus on oral health that does that. And we also have a really great recipe for plaque as well in the membership group. So if you're and Victoria, I think you're in there. So definitely search the membership group for that. All right, guys, that is all the time that I have for today. I really hope you take the time to come join me over in the membership for the webinar. The website is go.essentialoilvet.com. Make sure you get that GO in front there /member-webinar. I also put the link in the description of this video, so you can click on it. Hope to see you guys in there. Once again, that nutrition webinar that I'm doing is January 31st. So I will see you then. Until then, I will be back on Sunday at 7 p.m. to answer more questions next week. I'll see you then. Bye.